What is that?
Oh my god, it's Godfrey!
Oh, fuck!
I hope you're ready to dodge arena-wide AoEs.
No. So that's first phase, I think, right?
It looks like second
What's
phase.
Second phase.
I mean, both of them do them.
What's up there?
It's Godfrey after HRT.
He's using the Mimic Veil right now. By the way, do you remember that after we kill him, we go to second phase and fight another boss?
Oh my
That is just how that works. Oh no!
I should not have attacked there. Ah! It's doable, but damn. Greetings, everyone. What you just saw is a clip from a test run we've been doing in Elden Ring. We call it the Glass Noodle Randomizer. Typically, when you think of a glass cannon build, you think of someone who is extremely fragile but can deal massive damage. However, in our challenge run, we are effectively glass noodles because we have the frailty of a glass cannon build but the damage output of a wet noodle. We will be following a similar premise to that of our Dark Souls 2 and 3 glass noodle runs, where we take increased damage and level up our stats randomly. Now, before I get too deep in the explanation, I'd like to give you a major channel update. I wanted to let you all know that we will begin streaming on Twitch and YouTube, assuming I can figure out how to dual stream and my PC can handle it, every Monday at 6:30 p.m. CST, and sometimes also on Wednesday at the same time. On Monday, August 3rd, we will begin our Elden Ring Glass Noodle Randomizer live on Twitch, link in the description and comments, and hopefully also YouTube. If that sounds interesting, you are welcome to drop by. We will not be streaming the Elden Ring series every Monday. Sometimes we will switch it up with other games, and Wednesday will also be dedicated to variety streaming if we have the time to stream twice per week. Thank you all very much for your time and support. We hope to see you there. The test run you are seeing had its rules changed several times, and even the final run may be subject to change later on for balancing reasons, because I want it to be challenging but not hard enough to turn it into a no-hit run. Now, for the rules, we will be using a randomizer with the following settings. Feel free to pause to look at the settings, as I will not dwell on it for too long. The most notable settings are the 20% bias, meaning items will be almost anywhere without rhyme or reason, with the exception of major key items. We will need to acquire 2 great rooms to enter Lanedale. Night bosses will spawn at all hours. DLC items and enemies can spawn in the base game with the exception of Shadow Realm blessings. Finally, we will start with the crafting kit and all crafting recipes unlocked. Next, we will also be using the Seamless co-op mod with a few settings tweaked. First, we will allow friendly fire. Invasions will be disabled because I don't know how well invasions would go with a randomizer and our challenge run restraints. If we die anywhere that isn't a boss fight, we will respawn without needing the teammate to rest, but with a random stackable debuff. These can come in the form of decreased defense, damage, HP, stamina regen, or runes acquired. Finally, the Seamless Co-op mod will also be tweaked to increase all enemies and bosses' damage output by 100%, meaning they'll deal double the damage they normally do. This is the biggest difference between the Elden Ring run and our Dark Souls runs. Previously, we filled all our ring slots with whatever rings would decrease our defense by the most, which would also come with the major downside of being unable to equip rings of our own choice. Now, in Elden Ring, endgame bosses already hit harder than they do in Dark Souls. They are more aggressive, they have much more complex movesets, some of which you cannot iframe through. And on top of that, Elden Ring's evil talismans are much more effective at taking your defense to the negatives. So this time around, we will simply increase the enemy's damage output and allow us to wear whatever talismans we want, including defense increasing talismans. Ultimately, I want this challenge run to be more fun than it is difficult, and I do not want it to become a no-hit run. If it ends up being too difficult, or inversely too easy, we will adjust the rules accordingly. We will also have the glorious merchant mod enabled, which modifies Kale's shop to have all items in the game and DLC. We will not use this shop unless we miss out on items due to bugs related to the Seamless co-op mod or somehow get soft locked. We will also use some cosmetic mods to add a few armor sets and weapons from the Dark Souls series. Their links will be in the description. Finally, we will be leveling up our stats randomly. There are 8 stats in Elden Ring, but we will roll 10-sided dice. If we roll a 1, that means vigor, 2 means mind, and so on. 9 and 10 will be free rolls, meaning we can level up a stat of our choice. This is to ensure that we can level up bigger, since the recommended level is between 50 and 60, and with bad RNG, we could be one-shot even without the damage boost that enemies have. Also, we won't have a level cap or a wheel of punishment like in Dark Souls 2. We only use those for that run because the game does not allow your defense to reach negative values like they do in Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring. So, we made up for it by doing it in New Game Plus and adding the aforementioned rules. At one point, I said we would be hitting like a wet noodle, and frankly, that is a little bit of an exaggeration. All that really means is we are incapable of having an optimized build, or really any build for that matter, since we are leveling up our stats by rolling the dice. However, keep in mind that running overpowered builds is the only reason people consider Elden Ring to be the easiest of all FromSoft's Souls games. Without that, you are left with the hardest bosses FromSoft has ever made, and like I said, I want this challenge run to be difficult, but more fun than it is difficult. It's a slug!
I keep forgetting.
Yeah, I saw it coming, and I decided to...
What's
Oh,
in there?
no! Oh!
Oh, I got